Hi guys, quick train of thought. China's 9.4-ton space station is about to fall from the sky and no one is sure where the debris will land. It's interesting because this Chinese space station is called Tiangong-1 or Heavenly Palace. It's interesting that their Heavenly Palace may be about to fall to Earth around the 1st of April, April Fool's Day, Easter Sunday. This object is possibly going to tumble or skip off the atmosphere. If you want to know what skip off the atmosphere means, just Google it. These and other factors make advanced predictions of a re-entry date and time and location nearly impossible. So on April the 1st, around April the 1st, they're saying Heavenly Palace could crash into Earth. I mean, how many more biblical references do you need? Beast from the East and Nor'easter and Satan 2 and all these different things that they're using. The next is a sensational headline from The Sun. It's going to blow. Yellowstone supervolcano may erupt at any time and could wipe out Western USA after researchers discover abnormality. This is interesting because they found an abnormal river of lava deep beneath Yellowstone supervolcano, which could cause it to erupt at any time. Now, the theory of Yellowstone erupting at any time has been spread over years, so it's not as if it's new, but the fact that we're coming into these times where we think something may happen, and I've looked at a lot of things that have association with volcanoes. Something could be related to Yellowstone, something like Cumbre Vieja over in the Canary Islands. Not exactly sure which volcano or if all of them are going to go up, who knows, but something I thought I'd just point out. It extends from Yellowstone all the way to the Mexican border. That's 215 miles, so basically the entire western coast. So something to pay attention to, particularly if they're looking to, maybe set off Yellowstone prematurely. That would be devastating. Let's put it that way. South Korea and North Korea are due to hold a summit on March the 29th before their bigger summit in April. So a team of 3 officials will be led by Ri Song-kwong, the chairman of North Korea's Committee for the Peaceful Reunification of the country. The North told its neighbor early on Saturday, the South's Unification Ministry said. This morning, North Korea sent a message through a communication channel in Panmunjom, agreeing to our suggestion made on the 22nd to hold high-level inter-Korea talks. And this will obviously be before their even bigger summit in May with Donald Trump. I'm not sure it's going to get that far. Donald Trump did just hire this John Bolton character to be his national security advisor, and he's not particularly diplomatic in reference to starting wars. He is a very America first person, and I don't agree with those policies in terms of, putting your country first, wherever your country may be. That's where you're from. You want your country to prosper and be successful. At the same time, do you really want to achieve it by going to war with any country that poses an economic or military risk? It's not feasible. That kind of just turns you into an autocratic country, run by a dictator, essentially, if that's what kind of goes on. And that really does kind of go on. So we know that goes on. For example, if you want to sell, excuse me, if you want to sell your oil in a different currency, that causes problems. China, for example, going with their petro-yuan, and not just that, but obviously the whole trade war that's now been started, which caused the stock market to crash yet again. More hints towards the rich to get out while they can, and I think a lot of equity has been taken off. A lot of value has been, shaved off of the market. So where that value's gone, most likely New Zealand. Couple of reports out there saying that the millionaires and the billionaires, they're kind of building their bunkers or what have you in New Zealand. So they could be getting out while all this is going on. In relation to March the 31st, that's Passover. It's a date that I think something may happen in the Middle East, but there's also a reference that may reference Donald Trump, and I'm going to take you through that in just a minute. But yesterday I was watching the March for Our Lives rally, and over again they just kept saying enough is enough, enough is enough, enough is enough, over and over and over again. And that just reminded me of the Illuminati card game, which is enough is enough. This character looks like Donald Trump, an angry Donald Trump, which is in theory something that I've already looked at in terms of Donald Trump being shot. I know some people don't like hearing that, and it's not something I like saying, but it's something that looks like may happen. This particular card, Enough is Enough, which they were chanting over and over again at the March for Our Lives rally yesterday, has a picture which looks like Donald Trump, and the slogan here is, at any time, at any place, our snipers can drop you, have a nice day. There you go. That's pretty much what appears to be an Illuminati card. And if you have any qualms about this card, research it on Google and you'll see the different things that have been predicted in this card, which came out in 1995. The September 11 attacks, which happened in 2001, the Twin Towers and the Pentagon, the BP oil spill. Can't remember what year that happened, but you know, they've got a picture of a bird covered in oil, and that was the main imagery we saw from the BP oil spill, nature covered in oil. So, you know, discount it if you want, but I kind of tend to look at it as a very, very in your face, this is what we plan to do. Who's going to believe? Who's going to believe things are going to be predicted on a card game that's available to the public? Come on, don't be ridiculous. That's how they'll tell you. So I got a comment from Ned, and he suggested, after watching a video on YouTube, that the LCC may translate to a Hebrew letter, which is Kaf, backwards and upside down. As you can see, LC, and there's two C's here. And I was thinking that's a possible interpretation, and I commented as such. But after looking a little bit more, I noticed that up here they've got a silent letter, which is Alf, but the script for it is LC directly, just LC, and it's the first letter. And that got me thinking about the iPad Goat video, of course, because LC is right here. And I'm thinking, just for a second, if the LC translates as 1, that doesn't, this interpretation doesn't discount the other interpretations. Let me just be clear on that. But I'm looking at it now as this, for example, as one of the interpretations. And LC, if that translates as 1, then I've already done a video a while ago where I, you know, kind of enlightened, or what's the word, exposed, I guess, the scratches on the floor a little bit more through Adobe Photoshop. And down here, we've got an A scratched into the ground, just like these markers are scratched in, but this one is pretty much invisible when you're looking at it on the actual video. As you can see here, that it's like hardly there. You can just about see it if you look really, really closely. Make it a bit bigger. If you look really, really closely, it's there, but you can't tell it's an A in this particular frame. So looking at it in this one, you can see the A a little bit more clearly. So if that LC is 1 and this is A, that could be saying 1st of April, which is obviously referenced in this video. April Fool's Day, fool me once, can't get fooled again, all that kind of language that Bush uses in the beginning of the video. Excuse me. So April the 1st is also Easter Sunday, and it falls directly after Passover, which I'm looking at. So it falls in a linear pattern. So it's a possible interpretation, and one that I'm going to take on board, I think, most definitely. Even before this scene, that we have this scene here with the 12 faceless ones and the Alice in Wonderland Eve type figure in the middle. And I was thinking, including her, there's 13 of them, and 13 reversed is obviously 31, and we have a clear reference to March over here with the M. But not only that, if, as I say, if JK's interpretation of these 12 figures being months is correct, which we've just, you know, we've accepted as that is what it is, then this would be the 3rd character, which will be the 3rd month, which would be March, which is emphasized by the M. But not only that, this figure, as JK again pointed out, this could be Donald Trump because of the way he sits, his hands between his legs pointed down in this kind of triangle shape. So if you put it all together, it could be Enough is Enough, Donald Trump, at any time, our snipers can take you down, 13, reverse it, 31st March, and then we get onto the LC scene, which, if translated in this interpretation as the 1st, LC being the Hebrew characters for the 1st letter, then A, which is also the 1st letter of the name of LC, which is Alf. So LC is Alf in, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but that's what it says in Hebrew. Just quickly show you that again. You can see what I'm saying. I'm probably not saying it correctly. Hold on, bring that down. Yeah, so just here, Alf, I don't know, I'm probably saying it wrong. Apologies for the pronunciation, but you get what I'm saying. LCA1, so 1st of April, possibly. That could be what the scene translates as afterwards. And then that only flows in the chronological linear pattern, because after that we come outside, and this I've interpreted when it's upside down. I should have really brought it up, but let's see if I can quickly find it. Give me 1 second. Probably not going to be able to find it. I feel under pressure. Everyone's waiting for me to find it. Okay, give me 5 seconds. I think I know where I saved it. Okay, forget about it. But you guys already know anyway. You've seen it. Flip it upside down and you've got the translation. I could probably do it this way if you just see that as an A. You know, this kind of curl makes the line between the arc of the A here. So an upside down A, and then you've got 3. If you flip it upside down, it's still number 3. So April the 3rd after that. So 31st of March, 1st of April, April the 3rd. And again, that's only correlated in a separate media, which is Tomorrowland, which I already showed you guys how it translates to 666 and 923, 23 being the 24 format of 11, 9/11. But you've also got a whole translation date, which is the 31st of March. And then if you take 6 and 3, add them together, you've got 9. Add that to the other 9, you've got 18. What you got left is 2 and 0, 2, 0, 18. So 31st of March, 2018, midnight. And that would obviously be leading into the 1st of April, which could be translated as the LC scene, which then goes into the 3rd of April. So a linear chronological interpretation there for you. Again, I'm not sure if it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to come true, but you've got the 31st of March in the Tomorrowland video. You've got the 31st of March translated from the March for Our Lives, even with the word MAGA, which is Make America Great Again. I've done that translation before. The M being 13, flip that around, you know, you've got 31, and then the A being number 1, 31-1, which is, could be, I translated that before as the 31st of December / the 1st of January because of the New Year reference that we was looking at, but it could be pointing at the 31st of March / the 1st of April, Passover, Easter Sunday, April Fool's Day. All of it. And then after that, 3rd of April comes, and I think that's maybe when the tsunami comes. I'm not sure anymore in terms of the events, what's going to happen, but I know that those 3 dates appear to be significant. And then after that, the 18th of April, as I said, I'm not sure if the 18th of April is the direct reference or if that just means the 3rd of April, but the 18th lunar day, which they correspond to. So, and that might make sense because the 18 in this video, as I've pointed out before, isn't highlighted. It's kind of hidden. Like over here, you can see the 8, and then you've got the 1, but it's hidden in darkness, which could be a reference to lunar. So the 18 could be the lunar, and the 3rd could be the actual Gregorian, the 3rd of April, but the 18th lunar day in April. Anyway, that's my thought, or my thoughts, train of thought. There may be another video because I've got a couple of reports that I wanted to add to this video, but I didn't want to lose the train of thought on what I was thinking. So clear references to the 31st of March, clear references to the 1st of April, not just in the video, but also with the Chinese space station Heavenly Palace looking to crash into Earth around that day. A lot of significant events happening. This recent discovery of the river of lava underneath Yellowstone, which extends all the way down to the Mexico border. South Korea and North Korea meeting on March 29th for their meeting in April. That's the meeting before May, but something may happen in March related to Donald Trump. Enough is enough. And that's all I've got for you. So you guys have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and God bless.